Hey everybody, Aaron from Warmoth here, and today is another talking video. It's interesting because since I started doing these COVID-19 bunker videos, I do a guitar playing one day and a talking one the next day, and all the talking ones are the highest viewed videos. So I guess people just like to watch me sit around and talk about guitar stuff. Yesterday I demoed this guitar, and in that video I mentioned that, well, actually two things. In the video I said this was a tiger eye finish. It's actually Bengal burst. I don't know why I called it tiger eye. I think I've been stuck at home watching Tiger King too long. But anyway, this is Bengal burst. But I also mentioned that we had a regular Seymour Duncan humbucker in it instead of a trembucker, and so the pole pieces were mismatched with the strings. So today I wanted to talk about that a little bit more. I don't have any loose Seymour Duncan pickups at home. I know Warmoth sells Seymour Duncan, but I'm not at the shop. All I have as far as loose pickups right now, I have a bare knuckle. This is a Holy Diver, and I happen to have a DiMarzio Super Distortion in double cream, if that upsets you. So what I want to talk about is pole spacing. So humbucker pickups, as a lot of you already know, have usually come in two pole spacings. One is the standard pole spacing, which is typically used for hardtail bridges. For example, the Gibson style stop tail, or just a lot of fixed bridges. And then they come in a trem spacing, which has the pole pieces that are a little bit wider so that it works with tremolos or like Floyd Rose or whatever, where the string spacing is wider on those. Now, I know most of you already know that, but there is one thing that you may not know, and that is, well, first of all, every brand has their own name for these things. Seymour Duncan calls them Trembuckers. DiMarzio calls them F-spaced. Bare knuckle or Sir, they just say 50 millimeter or 53 millimeter pole spacing. But what that does is it just spaces out the pole pieces a little wider so that they line up with the strings on tremolo bridges. The thing about Seymour Duncan is that they are the only pickup manufacturer that I know that actually uses a different bobbin size. So like bare knuckle or DiMarzio or every other brand that I know, whether you get the 50 millimeter or the 53 millimeter, or whether you get the regular humbucker or the F-spaced humbucker, the bobbin size is the same, and they just change the spacing of the pole pieces. Seymour Duncan is different. They actually have a slightly bigger bobbin. And what that means is if you get a Seymour Duncan trembucker and you go to put it in a normal humbucker opening, you'll find yourself like trying to cram it through and it doesn't really fit, and it kind of gets bound up, where the humbucker is wrapped on the sides. It kind of gets hung up there, and it gets frustrating. It doesn't really fit, and you end up cramming it in there. That's because they use a slightly wider bobbin. And that's why Warmoth, we specify the openings on the pickguard. You can get either standard humbucker or trembucker. And for the trembucker, we make it slightly wider so that the Seymour Duncan trembuckers fit in there properly. So yeah, that's about all I have today, other than to say that when I initially grabbed all these guitars and came home to shoot videos, at that time I was assuming that we were only going to be shut down for 2 weeks. That's all that the state of Washington had mandated at that point. Since then, it's been extended to 6 weeks. And so I've gone through all the guitars I brought home, gone through all the basses, and so I'm looking for topics to get me through the next 3 weeks. I already have a few ideas, but I think that what I'm going to do is I write tons of original songs. I think I'm going to take some of my old original songs and re-record them with Warmoth instruments. And what that means is that I will do something on the Warmoth channel I've never done before, and that is sing. So look for an Aaron sing reveal sometime later this month. Now, I've been considering doing 2 songs. One of them is like a full-out Dungeons and Dragons heavy metal song where I'm doing the, Rob Halford vocals, and then another one is kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it. It's more of a, it's rock, but it's not hard rock. It's sort of an artsy rock song that I don't really know what genre it fits into. But the vocals aren't quite as bombastic, but it does have a gospel choir section in it where I sing all the voices in the gospel choir. So if you have a preference, tell me which one you'd like me to do. And who knows, maybe if I have time, I'll end up doing both. If you have any other ideas for videos, let me know, because I'm looking for ideas to get me through the next 3 weeks. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, make sure and check out our website. Our CSRs are answering emails as fast as they can. Of course, I'm checking all the YouTube comments and Facebook comments, and I'll get to as many questions as I can, and we'll get through this together. So until next time, wash your hands. Wash your hands, be kind, and keep on picking.